I don't think he's faster than me.
Right. How hard are you training?
I train every day.
These people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And, you know, it's long past the time where most people ever fight. You know, the only person that ever fought competitively after age 50 is Bernard Hopkins.
The boxing world was abuzz with speculation after footage, purportedly from a recent sparring session between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, surfaced online. The grainy video, shot from an unknown vantage point, showed glimpses of the two fighters exchanging blows, but it was the aftermath that sent shockwaves through the fight community. In the video, a visibly winded Jake Paul stumbles back to the ropes, his face flushed. Tyson, even at 57, appears to be in remarkable shape, a sly grin plastered across his face. Then, in a moment that had fans scrambling for their phones, Tyson leans into the camera, presumably held by his trainer, and delivers a chilling message. "Now that," Tyson booms, his voice still rough from exertion, "was some pillow punching out there. I gotta say, even in my prime, knocking out pigeons was a tougher workout. Kid needs to hit the weights, hit the speed bag, hit something besides his social media clout." The comment section of the leaked video exploded. Fans, divided as ever, erupted in a cacophony of cheers and jeers. Tyson's supporters reveled in his signature trash talk, his bravado seemingly undimmed by age. Paul's fans, however, decried the video as a publicity stunt, questioning its authenticity and accusing Tyson of bullying. Whether the video is genuine or not remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: it has reignited the debate surrounding the legitimacy of YouTubers turned boxers like Paul. Critics argue that these celebrities lack the years spent honing their craft in dingy gyms, the countless hours sacrificed for the sweet science. They believe these bouts cheapen the legacy of professional fighters and turn the sport into a spectacle for clout chasing. Tyson's apparent mockery, if true, only adds fuel to that fire. But amidst the controversy, a fascinating narrative emerges. This potential clash transcends generations and represents a cultural shift. In one corner stands Mike Tyson, the embodiment of an era where raw, destructive power reigned supreme. His reign of terror in the heavyweight division during the late 80s and early 90s is etched in boxing history. Here's a man who, with a single punch, could turn grown men into highlight reels. Now, older and wiser, is there a flicker of his former dominance left to challenge this new breed of fighter? Even the ever-outspoken Joe Rogan weighed in on the controversy, dedicating a significant portion of his podcast to dissecting the leaked footage. "Did you see this, Jamie?" Rogan boomed, gesturing wildly at his producer. "Iron Mike in there looking like he could still take out a whole herd of buffalo with his bare hands. And then you got this social media kid bouncing around the ring like a toddler on a sugar high." Rogan, a known boxing aficionado, went on to mercilessly critique Paul's technique. "Throws punches like he's swatting flies," he chuckled, before launching into a hilarious impersonation of Paul's footwork. "Look at those little tippy taps he calls footwork. This ain't ballet, Jake." Rogan's commentary perfectly encapsulated the public's fascination with this potential fight. Will Tyson, a relic of a bygone era, show the young buck what true boxing prowess looks like? Or can Paul, fueled by youthful exuberance and internet hype, pull off the unthinkable?
That's not like a 45 today. 45 today is 45 with testosterone replacement and human growth hormone and peptides.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mike Tyson, yeah, he's 57, but he got access to
everything. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation. That I've talked to some people that do that, and it has massive benefits of rehabilitating injuries.
Some fun in it. I think he genuinely thinks he's going to win, and so do I. So. Course.
How does it feel that you're not the scarier guy in these press conferences this time? That's a scary motherfucker.
That is true.
Like, you're not the big and bad one.
I'm not the big bad wolf anymore. Yeah, that's true.
He's like, what's his record?
50-6 or something.
Oh, my days.
You're just taking deep breaths.
Yeah, sorry. That was seriously. But what if he knocks you out? Like, is that your last one?
Can we get a what if he knocks you out counter, please?
Yeah, no, I just want to get the scenarios. Like
he's not going to.
In the wake of a leaked sparring video showing a seemingly outmatched Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, the YouTuber turned boxer has taken to social media to address the controversy and reassure his fans. The grainy footage sparked a firestorm of debate, with Tyson himself mocking Paul's skills and critics questioning the legitimacy of such fights. Paul, ever the showman, released a video titled Addressing the Iron Truth. Looking determined, he acknowledged his shortcomings in the sparring session. "All right, guys," he began, his voice laced with a hint of seriousness. "I saw the video floating around, and let me be clear, I wasn't at my best. Listened to the wrong people, trained a little unorthodox, and it showed." Despite the setback, Paul remained defiant. "But here's the thing," he continued, leaning into the camera. "Champions are made in the fire. This is just a bump in the road. I'm learning from my mistakes. And let me tell you, Iron Mike won't see the same Jake Paul in the ring." Paul then outlined his revamped training regimen. "I'm back in the gym. New team. New focus. We're working on explosiveness, sharpening my speed and footwork. This fight is about more than YouTube clout. It's about legacy. And I'm coming for Tyson's legacy, one first-round knockout at a time." Predictably, Paul's video elicited a mixed response. Supporters rallied behind him, praising his resilience and dedication. "This is the Jake Paul I know," one fan commented. "He learns from his mistakes and comes back stronger." However, skeptics remained unconvinced. "Yeah, right," another scoffed. "First-round knockout against Mike Tyson. In your dreams, Jake." The boxing world, too, reacted with amusement. Many analysts dismissed Paul's bravado as an attempt to regain control of the narrative. "Needs to focus on fundamentals, not first-round knockouts," a veteran boxing commentator remarked. Whether Paul can truly transform himself into a force capable of defeating a legend like Tyson remains to be seen. The leaked video exposed his limitations, but it also showcased his unwavering confidence. One thing's for sure, the fight, if it happens, will be a spectacle unlike any other. Will Paul defy the odds and silence his doubters? Or will Tyson serve him a brutal dose of reality? Only time will tell. Gone was the grim-faced seriousness. In its place, a steely glint flickered in Tyson's eyes as he sat in a dimly lit gym, the rhythmic thwack of heavy bags providing a primal soundtrack. "Jake Paul," he began, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through the speakers. "You call that a setback? You call that unorthodox training? Let me tell you, son, that was child's play compared to what I've been through. You haven't even stepped into the fire. You've just gotten a taste of the heat from a lighter." Slow smile spread across Tyson's face, sending shivers down the spines of viewers. "You talk about legacy, kid," he continued, his voice laced with a hint of amusement. "You think facing me is about taking mine? Let me tell you, stepping into the ring with the Iron King is about building your own. First, you gotta learn to walk before you try to fly." He paused, the silence heavy with anticipation. "New team, new focus, you say? Good. You're gonna need all of that, and more, if you want to last longer than a fly buzzing around a heavyweight." Tyson leaned closer to the camera, his voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "Explosiveness, speed, footwork. All that fancy stuff won't save you when I unleash the Iron Fist. This ain't your YouTube channel, kid. This is the real deal. And in the real deal, respect is earned, not bought with hype videos."
Back, we'll have them look it up, but you slap electrodes onto yourself. They put these pads on you, and it's hooked up to a machine.
Right.
While the electricity is going into your muscles, you're doing exercises. So while you're getting jolted, you're doing squats and you're doing like deadlifts. You're doing all this shit while you're connected to this thing that's stimulating your muscles.
But isn't
A mistake that he made, but I mean, he's an idiot, and so
Why
is
you not getting shit?
So yeah, literally, like the next offer for him is like nothing basically. And like my brand only increases to like a whole nother level. And it's like, we probably would have been 50-50 for that fight. And now it's like after this and everything. Dog.
I feel like
Tyson was doing that before the Roy Jones fight when he was training. I believe he's doing that now too. But that's interesting, right? Because you'd want to do like everything you can with a 57-year-old body. Get it ready to do that. I don't think people know. You don't lose that much ability. You know, you have to understand who you're talking about.
But what does change though is your ability to recover.
Yes.
Right, and then the amount of damage you can take.
Yes.
That's what changes. But he can still fucking destroy that guy.
The thing about the amount of damage you can take, it's all in comparison to how much damage you took in your life.
The world reeled as news broke of Jake Paul suing Mike Tyson for what Paul's team alleged was a malicious and reckless sparring session that resulted in brain damage. This bombshell came just weeks after a leaked video sent shockwaves through the fight community, showing a seemingly outmatched Paul struggling against Tyson. In a press conference, a grim-faced Jake Paul, flanked by his legal team, addressed the media. "This isn't how I envisioned this fight going," he began, his voice strained. "I signed up to test myself against a legend, not become a punchline." Paul went on to detail the neurological symptoms he'd been experiencing since the sparring session, including headaches, dizziness, and slurred speech. Medical reports, he claimed, confirmed damage consistent with mild concussion. "We believe Mr. Tyson intentionally pushed me beyond my limits during sparring," Paul's lawyer chimed in, his voice steeled with purpose. This lawsuit seeks not only compensation for Mr. Paul's injuries, but also to send a message that such reckless endangerment will not be tolerated in the boxing world. The news sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans were divided. Some sided with Paul, expressing outrage at Tyson's alleged brutality. "This is bullying, plain and simple," one fan tweeted. "Tyson should be held accountable for his actions." Others, however, scoffed at the lawsuit. "Brain damage from sparring? Give me a break," another commented. "This is just a way for Paul to weasel out of the fight." The boxing community, too, reacted with skepticism. Many veteran fighters dismissed the lawsuit as a publicity stunt. "Lawsuits don't win fights, son," a retired heavyweight champion remarked. "They just postpone them." Mike Tyson's camp vehemently denied the allegations. "This is a desperate attempt to wriggle out of a fight Mr. Paul was never prepared for," a spokesperson stated. "We have witnesses who can attest that the sparring session was conducted fairly and professionally." The lawsuit has thrown the highly anticipated fight between Paul and Tyson into complete disarray. The legalities could take months, even years, to resolve. Will Paul's health concerns sideline him permanently? Or is this just a strategic move to buy time and train harder? And how will the Boxing Commission react to these allegations? One thing's for sure, the fight, if it ever happens, will be shrouded in controversy. The lawsuit has cast a dark shadow over what was supposed to be a clash between generations. Can the fight be salvaged, or will it become another casualty in the ongoing war of words and legal jabs? On the immediate controversy, the lawsuit raises important questions about safety standards in exhibition boxing matches. Unlike professional bouts with strict regulations, exhibition bouts often operate in a legal grey area. This lack of oversight could leave fighters like Paul vulnerable to exploitation, particularly when facing boxing legends known for their aggressive styles. The incident also reignites the debate surrounding the legitimacy of YouTuber-turned-boxers like Paul. Critics argue that these celebrity bouts cheapen the sport, prioritizing spectacle over athletic merit. Paul's lawsuit, with its claims of injury and exploitation, only adds fuel to that fire. Meanwhile, the boxing world watches with a mix of amusement and concern. For some, it's a classic case of a young fighter biting off more than he can chew. For others, it's a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing hype over proper training. Ultimately, the outcome of the lawsuit and the fate of the fight will depend on the legal process and Paul's ability to recover. But one thing is certain, this saga has left a lasting mark on the world of boxing, raising questions about safety, ethics, and the ever-evolving nature of the sport itself.